something else that's coming back is House of the Dragon, of course, is coming back. So House of the Dragon, we finally got an update because people are wondering, it did so well on HBO Max. When's it coming out? Is it coming soon? Is it not coming soon? Well, it's not going to come until the summer of 2024. That's the earliest. That's what they're saying over there. The CEO, Casey Bloys, says that. He says, not anytime soon. They're just going into production. So it's going to be a minute, everybody. If you're like excited about the new House of Dragon series, like you're gonna have to wait a little bit because these things take forever to shoot with all the locations, multiple crew, the cast, the big scenes they shoot, these big battle scenes and the CGI and all that. It takes a long time for it to actually come together. So you're gonna have to wait a little bit to get to this. I'm still excited about this. Last season was a lot of fun. I mean, honestly, Matt Smith, for how much I go back and forth about his acting, I think he does a phenomenal job in this. And of course, there's incest. We just talked about Game of Thrones before. There's always incest. So he's having sex with his niece in this. So that's a whole thing. And and then they get married and they have kids. So that's a whole thing.
Wow.
Yeah, that's Game of Thrones though. Jake, you never
Keep the
seen Game of
bloodline
Thrones,
pure.
right? You never watched
Yeah.
Game of Thrones, have you?
Yeah, I watched all of it. Yeah.
Oh, you did watch all of it. Oh, good.
Game
There
of
we
Thrones
go.
for sure. Yeah.
Did you watch House of Dragon yet or no?
Not yet. No.
Okay. But because Game of Thrones, there's a lot of that, right? There's a lot of brutality, a lot of incest, and a lot of like really good drama, honestly, and some good storytelling. But overall, it's a little shocking and jarring at first if you're just getting into it.
Yeah, and the first, it's very shocking because the writer of those stories just did not care who the person was. Like they're dead. When they're dead, they're dead. So
That's it.
like you said, the amount of brutality behind it, I think it was for like it was like the violent end that Lord of the Rings didn't give you,
Oh,
It's
yeah.
like just like a super brutal, cool world, like Lord of the Rings or any of those kinds of things. And
Yeah. Big fantasy adventure kind of world where you don't get to see the real life like aggression that happens back then or did happen at that time,
And then in
And
comparison, it's like, go ahead.
No, you're good. Get in there.
Oh, I was gonna say like the Witcher, for me. I don't know if you watched The Witcher at all. That series.
I started watching season 1. I haven't gotten it done yet, but I finally started watching it. So the little bit I've seen, I do like.
Don't stop watching that one. And
Okay.
I'll watch Spider-Man.
Okay. We'll see who wins. Who watches it first?
All right. That sounds good. Well, okay.
Is that a challenge accepted?
Challenge accepted. If you can finish both seasons of The Witcher and Blood Origin just came out too. So you got 3 that you can at least start on. But
it's so sad that Henry left that show now. So
yeah.
But
the direction they're going, it kind of shows. I'll let you catch up on it.
Yeah. He didn't seem like he was too happy with it. He was going to do Superman, so that made sense for him. That all fell through, but he finds a new home. That's how it goes. Sabrina, what do you think about the House of the Dragon? I know you watched a little bit of it. I know it's coming back now until 2024. Are you in it? Are you excited at all? I know you haven't finished it yet. I know you've seen a lot of it when I was watching it. So, are you have any kind of initial feelings about hearing that it's coming out next summer?
No, I did finish it. I just didn't really start it. Like I started watching it. Like I started watching it kind of, I don't know, midway through. And there were a lot of things that annoyed me as per usual. But I did like some stuff. I really liked the young version of the niece that was being fucked by her uncle. Not really sure. You know what I'm talking about. The young version of the blonde being incesticized.
Rhaenyra's?
Yep. Rhaenyra. Something like that. What made me so super uncomfortable is like he was like doing some jousting shit as her uncle, and she's like giving him a favor, and there was like a weird sexual tension. He's like 12, like it was very off-putting, and I don't appreciate it. But other than that, I was fairly drawn in by the story. I was super not thrilled with the original king, who wound up getting ill, like choosing. I don't want to spoil it for Jake, but Yeah, he made a weird choice that upset me and that ended in, a karmic fuck you for him. There was a lot of things that I was like, ugh, but I mean, I get it. I got it more. It was less off-putting to me than the original Game of Thrones. And I know like my mother watched and loved the original Game of Thrones. So I obviously didn't give it long enough. But like, I mean, I just don't want to see a brother touching a sister's tit more than once in 3 hours of television. Like, I think once is enough. It was just too much for me. In this
Jake's
version,
face says it all. Jake's face says it all.
Slightly less. I have a brother, so it's creepy. Like what I think. I'm like, oh my god, what if that was TJ touching my tit? Like, fuck, are you fucking kidding? Like, it's just not cool. In this, it was for some reason slightly less off-putting, maybe because I was prepared for it, or maybe because it's not as much. It's not as shoved down your throat as it was originally. It wasn't like everyone was fucking a sibling or an uncle or a cousin or something weird. So I don't know. I would definitely watch another season of it. I think the acting was spectacular. Like, there was a lot of really, really good acting. There was good tension. There was good, kind of storylines. You had people that you were rooting for. Like, I would probably give it a go. I'm definitely not going to go back and watch the few episodes I missed. I may dabble in the original Game of Thrones again. I don't know, but I'll give this a go for sure.
Yeah, well, the thing too is like the early episodes. Like, honestly, there's a lot of. It starts off with very early on, and they have these time jumps. There's a lot of time jumps in House of the Dragon. So if you're watching it, it's like they have different. I think there's like, is there 2 actors that play?
It goes like back and forth.
Yeah. Yeah, but then once it jumps to the future, then it stays towards the end. But there's like some time jumps. So that's the initial stuff. It's just, backstory, setting things up, letting you introduce these characters. And then what you saw where Sabrina started, I remember, was like kind of in the mix of everything, where it really was getting into the story.
It was right
of
around
what's
when
happened.
the uncle fucking started is when I tuned in.
Yeah.
Fortunately.
Yeah, Matt Smith did a great job though in there. I think like he had staying power.
Creepy and gross, though. I was like, please exit the screen. I hate you. He was so gross and such a douchebag.
Yeah.
But
he's
that's
a Targaryen.
what I wanted him to be.
And it's all about the Targaryens. And the Targaryens were, they're pretty well known to be like, it's all about bloodline and power, and it's all because we have dragons, And that was the big thing they were pushing forward.
Was that angry? It was Angry Elf a Targaryen?
Yes, he was. Yes, Angry Elf. Okay. Peter Dinklage, everybody.
He was Angry Elf and Elf, not Elf. 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 He was Angry Elf. Ooh, you're an angry
He's an
elf.
Angry Elf. He's an Angry Elf. Remember that, Jake? Peter Dinklage. And Elf, Elf goes, he's in the boardroom
and like jumped on him.
Yeah, and Miles, what was his character's name? Miles something, but Miles Finch. They get Miles Finch to tell us to pitch this whole story, and they finally have Miles Finch there, and then Elf busting, he's like, I'm in love, and I don't care, and he's like, oh, you have an elf. He's like, hey buddy, calm down. He's an angry elf. No, say one word.
Call me
one more time.
One more time.
And then he's like, he's an angry elf. And then Peter Dinklage runs across the table and like drop kicks him. It's awesome.
Yep.
I'll have to watch again.
And then beats the shit out of him.
Seriously, dude, Elf is like the best movie ever. You need to
watch it. You haven't seen Elf?
Every Christmas you should watch it. He's seen it once, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I've seen it once. Yeah.
You got to watch it again.
At least
you got to watch it again.
Every Christmas you need to watch it.
Yeah.
Well, you got to check that out, Jake.
My favorite part is when he's chugging the soda and he belches extremely loud. It's like
he just slams the whole thing.
But the best part is when he asks, "Did you hear that?" Like, no.
And the kid's like, I don't know. You're weird.
Yeah. I know.
Yeah, right.
It's
You're weird.
The funniest thing ever. I don't know why it makes me laugh. It makes me laugh really loud, really hard.
It's such a great movie.
The whole movie has me laughing. I told Brian there's a rule in my house that I am not watching a Christmas movie on Thanksgiving or until December. And on Thanksgiving, I'm cooking, of course, Thanksgiving dinner, and he casually puts on Elf behind me. And I'm like, that is a fucking low blow, bro, because I will not turn Elf off. No, I won't do it. So he slid it in and then parlayed it into another Christmas movie that I watched.
What about Die Hard?
What was that?
Yeah, Die Hard's great too.
Die Hard I love. I'll watch that any time of year.
Yeah. I think it was like Fred Claus, which is not even the best.
Fred Claus, which I'd never seen. And I was like, wait, you have to rewind that. I didn't see that part. And he's like, oh, I thought you know watching Christmas movies.
Oh, Bad Santa's
Billy
great
Bob
too.
Thornton.
Thurman Merman?
Thurman.
Were you dropped on your head when you were a kid? My head? It's the best thing ever.
Sounds like Tommy Boy. Did you know how to paint chips as a kid? Why?
Yeah. What? Yeah.
Anyways,
got into like a quoting match.
House of the Dragon, everybody. House of the Dragon is coming summer of 2024. The Targaryens will rule again. Yes. What? Well, the Targaryens will be more dragons and more fire coming the summer of 2024.